A dangerous game, psychological thriller story based on real-life incidents. Author Dr. Nisha Shastri.
It was a pitch-dark night around 1 o'clock. Ramesh was running very late. Usually he left his office by 8 p.m., but today his work seemed endless. As he sat in his Maruti Suzuki car, his phone rang. It was his wife. "Where are you? Do you even know what time it is?" she asked. "Yeah, sweetheart, I'm just leaving now," Ramesh replied. "Come home soon. I'm feeling uneasy. Bad thoughts are crossing my mind," she said, clearly distressed. "I'm in the car just 25 minutes away. Don't worry so much, it's just the rain," Ramesh said, starting the car and putting his phone on speaker mode. "No, there's been a murder in the New Jalana area. A husband and wife were killed, and the murderer is on the run. That area is on your route," his wife said in one breath. "Why are you so scared?" "I'll drive straight home without stopping," Ramesh replied with a chuckle. He drove out of the office parking and sped through the desolate roads. "Just hurry up. I feel uneasy." "You worry too much. Relax, I'll be home in 20 minutes. Is Bunty asleep?" he asked, focusing on the dark, rain-soaked road. "Yes, he's asleep. Just come home soon. Let me drive properly and stop stressing." "The murder happened in Jalana, not in our house," Ramesh joked. "Don't say such things. Come home quickly," his wife urged. "Love you," Ramesh said before disconnecting the call. The night was eerily silent, possibly a new moon night. As Ramesh drove toward the New Jalana area, the road became rough and bumpy. "Damn, nothing works properly in India. A little rain, and the roads fall apart. The entire system is broken," Ramesh muttered under his breath, driving cautiously at about 10 to 15 kilometers per hour. Suddenly, someone banged on the driver's side window. Ramesh looked and saw bloody handprints on the glass. In the side view mirror, he spotted a stunningly beautiful young woman, no older than 20, looking at him desperately. She was wearing a torn white salwar kameez, clutching a piece of cloth to cover her chest. Her salwar was stained with blood, and her hands were also smeared red. For a moment, Ramesh felt like driving away, but her disheveled appearance suggested she was in desperate need of help. He stopped the car. The girl ran to the vehicle as soon as it halted. Ramesh rolled down the window. "Who are you?" he asked. "Sir, please let me sit in your car and take me somewhere safe. My parents were just murdered and I barely escaped." "Please, sir," she pleaded in a soft voice. Ramesh hesitated, but unlocked the back door. The girl climbed in quickly, but in the process, the cloth covering her chest slipped, leaving her upper body exposed. She huddled into the seat, trying to cover herself with her arms. "How did this happen to you?" Ramesh asked, stealing glances at her through the rearview mirror. The girl explained, her voice trembling. "3 goons broke into my house tonight. They brutally murdered my parents," she said, sobbing. "Don't cry," Ramesh said instinctively, pulling over briefly to comfort her. "Please don't stop the car. They might still be chasing me," she said, weeping. Ramesh resumed driving as she continued her story. "After killing my parents, they tore my clothes. One of them said, 'We'll enjoy her all night,' but another said, 'It won't be fun with 2 corpses in this small house. Let's take her to our hideout.'" As she recounted her ordeal, Ramesh couldn't help but imagine the scenes she described. His car was moving at a snail's pace now, his mind consumed by conflicting emotions. The girl went on. "They dragged me to the road where you found me. While 2 of them went to fetch their car, the third stayed back to hold me. He threw me to the ground and started kissing me everywhere, but I found a sharp stone nearby and stabbed him in the eye. Then, I hit him on the head multiple times until he fell unconscious. That's when I ran and saw your car." Ramesh stopped the car again and turned to comfort her, placing a hand on her shoulder. Her skin felt soft as wax. Lust clouded his mind as he realized they were alone in the car on this dark, desolate road. Just then, his wife's phone call broke the spell. "Where are you? It's been 25 minutes," she snapped. "I'm almost there," he replied curtly. "Don't disconnect. Keep the call on," she ordered. Ramesh's wife's voice jolted him back to reality. He started the car again, focusing on reaching home. The girl, exhausted, dozed off in the back seat. He was just a few minutes away from reaching his home. The girl, too, seemed frightened by this dreadful night. She didn't even realize when she slipped into the arms of sleep. She lay down on the back seat. Ramesh glanced at her through the rearview mirror. Her hands had moved away from her chest. Seeing her bare upper body, Ramesh became completely consumed by lust. He had never seen such a beautiful girl before. Just then, his wife's voice came through the speakerphone. "Where have you reached?" Her voice startled the girl awake. She noticed Ramesh staring at her body. She instinctively crossed her arms over herself, and Ramesh quickly averted his gaze. "Just outside the gate," Ramesh replied, cutting the call. Looking back at the girl, he said, "You can rest at my house for a while. Tomorrow morning we'll go to the police station. Don't worry, I don't live alone. My wife and son are with me." Ramesh blurted it all out in one breath. The girl didn't say anything and nodded in agreement. Ramesh parked the car outside his house. His home was a small one-bedroom hall kitchen flat, or as it's often called, a 1 BHK. He gestured for the girl to step out of the car and escorted her inside. His wife had heard the sound of the car and came outside. "Who is her?" she asked. With Ramesh stood a stunningly beautiful girl who was bare above the waist. His wife's worst fears began to surface. Who was this girl Ramesh had brought home with him?